The other one which came out with numbers which were, by their own standards, a bit disconcerting were Blue Star. Now, one-time expenses, cost overruns saw Blue Star feel the heat in the December quarter. Will it see a recovery over the impending summer sales? And is it even possible to predict that, considering how fickle the weather has been over the last few months or last few quarters? Let's find that out from Mr. B. Thiagarajan. He's the Executive Editor at Blue Star, joins us right now on the show. Mr. Thiagarajan, good having you. Thanks so much for joining in. You're very candid, and therefore I would presume you'd call a spade a spade. You would have been disappointed with this quarter, I presume.
Indeed, we are disappointed, but at the same time, this is something which is one time. So it is perfectly fine. As you may recall, we started the year on an optimistic note with the summer predictions being very gung-ho. Then what happened was summer was very mild. That weak summer resulted in inventory, and that resulted in finance costs as well as warehousing costs. Subsequently, many headwinds, dollar, festival season being lukewarm, non-tariff measures like a quality control order, then there was custom duty hike, then most recent one had been the NBFC crisis, the dealers not able to manage their working capital well. Subsequently, every last week there will be a GST council anticipation that the GST from 28 will come down to 18, like that. So it was a weak performance as far as room air conditioners is concerned, and the margin was under pressure. But combined with that, it is the Oman joint venture which ended up having cost overruns. So a decision had to be taken because as a company, we are interested in growing faster than the market. We are interested in delivering the profitability to the shareholders, and therefore if there is something bad, it is better to provide for and move ahead. Of course, the Platinum Jubilee celebration, 75 years, it is something that needs to be incurred, because fundamentally there is nothing wrong in the foundations of the operations. Therefore, everything bad is behind us. We will move forward. I think Q4 will be good.
Okay, so let me not just talk about that exceptional loss, which is one time, and I agree. The fact that operational numbers or the margins too came off, despite the fact that the revenues went up 18%. So on the revenue front, on the sales volumes front, I don't think there are too many complaints. But it's below that the issues seem to be starting.
Yes, the reason was the inventory has to be liquidated, and we have to move ahead with the preparations for the summer sales. So therefore, you will see better margins going forward from Q4.
How is the inventory in the system, Mr. Thiagarajan, not just for the leader like you, but for the system at large? I know for the air cooler space, for example, the inventory issues still exist, as companies have said. How about your business?
As far as we are concerned, we have liquidated all the inventory by December. So we do not have any issues at all, because we decided to also engineer quite a few products and introduce quite a few products for the season in line with our need to improve our market share in the northern region. So therefore, we decided to liquidate the inventory, and it is done with. We do not have any inventory. In the industry, there should be very minor inventory left out with, because all of us should be preparing for the summer season now. As you know, March will be a very important month for that.
Okay. So I would presume the reason for the margin erosion for the unitary cooling segment also was as a result of that. How is business looking? Because weather has been bizarre. It's been a cold wave of another level that we've seen across the country, even in cities like Bombay. People might rejoice that the weather is looking so cool, but from a business perspective, it must be becoming difficult to plan. So how is the quarter shaping up thus far?
I have been in the business for over 40 years. So all kinds of theories go on in the sense, if the winter is severe, the summer will be very harsh. But these days it is very unpredictable across the globe. Whether it is summer or monsoon or winter, it is becoming very difficult to predict. But having said that, the penetration levels of cooling products are very low in India. All that is needed is 3 to 4 weeks of very hot summer to trigger that sale. Even this particular year, I don't think the market would have degrown if you wait till March. I have a feeling the market would have eventually grown by at least 5%.
Okay.
So as you yourself pointed out, it is not the revenue, the consumption story continues. It is a question of managing the margins with the exchange rates, commodity prices. Right now, exchange rate is looking fine. Commodity have come to some kind of a stability. So we should be having a good season ahead.
The view that brokerages are taking, Mr. Thiagarajan, is that there is inability on the part of companies by and large, and on your part as well, to be able to take price hikes. Will that be a problem that will linger?
See, the cost increase, if you take the product as of March 31 last year to December, the cost increase is close to 15%. It is dollar, custom duty, commodities, transportation costs, all put together. You know the petrol, diesel, how it went up. So the margin erosion is not 15%, right? So there had been certain savings that have been achieved, certain price increase have been passed on. Whether we could have passed on much more than that, that is debatable. In a year in which you carried inventory, you will not be able to pass on. We have passed on the cost burden to the extent of around 12%. Out of that 12%, 7-8% came through savings, 4% is a net price increase the consumers have paid. So I think it was an aberration last year, where everything coexisting together. I am telling you, in 40 years of my career, I have not come across everything coexisting. Season bad, dollar, commodity prices, custom duty hike, everything. 1 or 2 things will get corrected, but it is happening now. Let us see.
Can you? Okay, so
we are not rattled by this at all.
Which is always a sign of a great management in control. So good to see that. My final question, Mr. Thiagarajan, can you leave us with some guidance, some numbers of what is likely, ballpark estimates of what revenues or profitability could be like for FY19? We've finished 9 months, so you would have some sense of what the year could look like.
Yeah, but as I mentioned to you, it is the onset of summer we have to look forward to. So let us focus on other segments other than room air conditioners. Refrigeration products is doing extremely well. Deep freezers, cold rooms, water coolers, so on and so forth. Electromechanical projects and packaged air conditioning systems, the order book is very healthy and order execution is happening in a fast manner, so especially in tier 3, 4, 5 towns and light commercial segment. And assuming that we get March some weather conditions becoming favorable, I think we will post a marginal growth over last year in terms of profitability, and the revenue growth will be healthy. So there is nothing to worry. The revenue growth has been healthy. That will continue. I think we would have posted profits marginally higher than last year. That is the anticipation. But the rider is March, the summer should set in.
Okay, we wish you all the best for that. Maybe FY19 numbers are not the numbers to look forward to. Q1 FY20 would be the quarter that Mr. Thiagarajan believes is the real one to monitor. Thanks so much for joining in today, and all the best with all of the quarters ahead, Mr. Thiagarajan. Appreciate you joining in.
Thank you.
Well, with that, it's a wrap on this leg of Indian Open. Keep in mind, the markets are now trading at the lowest point of the day, so there is some pain on the screen. The FNO show will take forward all of this action on the other side. Stay tuned to Bloomberg Quint Live.